welcome to another ranking video, and today I'm finally doing a tier ranking. I've been wanting to do this forever. I just, I needed to buy a new laptop because the one I had was old and didn't run fast, and now I have the final capabilities to actually make a tier ranking, so this is going to be cool. I've done plenty of rankings before, but like I said, I've always wanted to do it in this format. I mean, in this case, I kind of need to do it in this format, obviously by the title, and, so let me know in the comments if you've seen my other rankings, if you prefer seeing this version, like, if I rank, movies or something, things I've typically ranked before, like, movies or music or whatever, if you prefer to see it this format. But like I said, in terms of, this Universal Studios, I kind of have to do it this way because I don't have, any other way to do it, unless I do like a slideshow or something, but that's no fun. So yeah, let me know what you guys prefer. I personally enjoy watching tier rankings. I think they're great. I think they're funny. And also, you can do your own custom tiers here. So obviously here, I'm doing Universal Studios attractions. Now, if you guys watch my channel, I just took a vacation to Universal for the past 2 weeks. And it was really fun, and I got this idea. It'd be fun to actually rank all the rides. And I've been to Universal many times in my life because I've grown up in Florida. I've vacationed all around the state, but Universal is one of those places that like I've been to countless times. Like I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I've been to Disney World too many times, but Universal obviously is a lot cheaper and a lot not as busy, so it's kind of easier to go there, you know what I mean? I'm not really sure which park I prefer, in terms of like Disney versus Universal. I don't know, because I haven't been to Disney in like 10 years, so it's kind of hard to, really think about that. But I've been to Universal countless times, like I said, so I've been on all these rides, and I just, I don't really talk about it enough on this channel. It's like something I'm really like a fan of that I don't really talk about, so I figured this would be a great idea. By the way, I'm sure this video is going to be really long, so I'm probably going to talk a lot. If you want to like skip ahead and see, where I place these, go ahead, whatever. I'm probably going to be talking, quite a bit. So the way I'm doing this is, I have all the current rides now, in terms of like rides that don't exist anymore. Like I've been on Jaws, I've been on Back to the Future, I've been on, Confrontation. But it's been like I don't know how many years, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even begin to explain like where, I obviously Jaws is one of the best rides ever made, but like I can't really it's not fair to like, put that in S when I haven't been on it in 10 plus years, you know what I mean? So anyways, these are all the current rides. I have them down here. I made this list myself if you want to go on tiermaker.com or whatever it is, and look at it. So these are all the current rides, and I have them, I believe this is the correct order that they all came out. So obviously E.T. is the first one, and then Velocicoaster is the newest ride. And yes, I did get to go on it twice. I'm very happy about that. Before it even opened, which was yesterday. Anyways, I'll talk about each ride in detail, obviously. So here I have my custom rankings here. Now I have it pretty standard, S, A, B, C, D, F. And at the very bottom, I don't know if you can read it. I'm not sure how this looks on the final video, but if it's too tiny, I apologize. This is my first time. Fast and Furious Supercharged is at the very bottom. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, so like I said, I'm huge Universal nerd. Like I'm wearing the vintage T-shirt. I love this shirt. I just got it. I love this park, and I can't wait to get into this, so this will be a fun video. And also, the way I'm going to do this, now, I see this sometimes in tier rankings, where people, they will tier the ride, or whatever they're ranking, but they won't, like, put it in the correct order, you know what I mean? Like, for example, if I were to put a bunch of things in S, I would put my favorite one at the beginning, then this, my second favorite after. Like, I'd put them in order, you know what I mean? I don't see people doing that enough, so I'm going to be doing it that way as well. So this will be a ranking and a tiering, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let's get into it. So, like I said, I believe this is the correct release order for all these rides. So obviously the oldest ride is E.T. The only opening day attraction that's still there, 1990. And yeah, E.T. is a great ride. I mean, it's fun. It's I guess it was meant to be like the kiddie ride out of all the opening day rides. But it's still got that cool, the atmosphere and the queue line, when you go in the forest or whatever, and it has that smell, and you know, it's got a cool pre-show with Steven Spielberg, and the ride itself is, you know, it's fine. It's cool. It's got cool special effects. It's a decent length, you know, it's a good couple of minutes, and it has the feature too, where E.T. says everybody's name at the end, because, you know, when you go through the queue, they ask you what your name is, they scan it on a card or whatever. So that's a fun little thing I always enjoyed. But it's not like, you know, the best ride ever or anything like that. It's not like, I'm more of a fan of, like, I'm a big roller coaster guy, so I'm a big fan of, like, thrills and storytelling and stuff like that. Like the Mummy, for example, is definitely going to be in the S tier, because what I love about Mummy is it's an amazing thrill ride, but also, like, tells a story, and it has a really cool thing going on. Like, it's a really cool dark ride. I love dark rides that, you know, are like a hybrid of everything. So, by the way, when I'm making this list here, I'm going to have to decide what my favorite thing is, because I've always been debating about this, so this is going to be interesting. I already know a few that are going to be in the S tier, but I don't know what I love the most. Like, it's such a crazy thing I've never decided upon, but I'm going to try to do that. Anyways, E.T., I'm going to put in B. I don't want to give it an A just because it's not... I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody to hate me for this, but, like, it's not like an amazing ride. It's good. It's great, but, like, it's not... I don't think it deserves an A per se, but it is, you know, it is one of the... I mean, it is the only original still there, so you got to give it that. And I doubt they're ever going to close it. I think the only reason they keep it open is because I heard Steven Spielberg was mad that they closed the one in California without, you know, them telling him. So I guess they're afraid he might never work with them again if they close this or something. I don't know if that's true. So as long as Steven Spielberg's around, this ride will be around. So yeah, I'm glad it's still there. I'm going to give it a B though. It's not bad at all. It's just, it's not A worthy, if you ask me. You know what I mean? So don't hate me. All right, next is going to be Woody Woodpecker, little kid roller coaster. Again, this one, it's a quick ride. Like, it's not even a minute. It's got one car that goes around the track, and that's it. Like, it's just a kiddie ride. It's not supposed to be, you know, anything great. In terms of the roller coaster itself, it's okay. Like, it's a decent speed. It's, you know, it's a short ride. I mean, nothing, the queue's pretty fun for kids, you know. They got the little, when you walk through the line, they got these little strings you can pull to make noise, and the actual look and everything looks great. The theming's cool. But I don't know, I might just put this, I kind of want to gravitate towards a C just because it's so short, but then again, it's just a kid's ride, so I'm putting it in B, right with E.T. And yes, I do like E.T. more, so E.T.'s going to stay in front of it. Now here we go. Islands of Adventure, all these rides opened in 1999, well, most of them, as you'll see. So the Marvel section, now this is going to be interesting. Hulk, that's not even a question. This is S. I mean, come on. Hulk is, in my mind, Hulk is like the grand ride at the entire resort. Like, it's the centerpiece of the entire resort. Even though it might not be my number one choice, which we'll get to, Hulk has always been like the standard bearer, like, of the entire, for me, like, I don't know, just in my mind, like, as a kid, I went to, you know, I've been such a fan of rides for, like, my whole life. Like, even as a little kid, I would go on these rides. Like, on Hulk, I went on, I don't know what age I was. I had to be tall enough, obviously. I don't know what the height requirement is. But whatever age I was, I went on it. I was very young. I've never been afraid of it. I've never been afraid of any kind of ride. Like, Hulk has always been such a cool ride. And I kind of don't like that they updated it a couple years ago, like the queue, you know what I mean? Like, I love the old queue, where they would play the cartoon in there, like, with the government chasing Hulk or whatever. And then inside the tunnel, they updated the inside of the tunnel that you launch out of. Now, it looks really cool now, but I still miss the old, you know, and you hear Bruce Banner, like, he's screaming and stuff, and then it launches you. They totally replaced that. I'm not really a fan of that change, but it's not going to affect the actual ride for me. Like, it's still an S no matter what. So for me, Hulk is pretty much the GOAT. I don't know. I'm more of a roller coaster guy, but, you know, when I start talking about Spider-Man, you'll see what I mean. This internal debate I'm having. So Hulk is S. That's not even a question. All right, next is going to be Doctor Doom's Fearfall. This one is also, the theming's great. I love, you know, the queue and the little video that they play and stuff, and the theming and everything is great. And when you exit the ride, you actually do go through the arcade, which is a cool little feature. But yeah, this one is very simple. Like, it's, I'm gonna put this one in B. I don't want to give it a C because it's not bad. It's just a simple ride. It just shoots you up and that's it. And then you start going slowly down. It's just one big shoot up. That's all it is really. Like when you go down, it's not, you know, super fast or anything. So the best part of the ride is the very beginning. Obviously, it's very short. It's very simple. So, but for that one launch that it starts with, it's really fun. So I'm gonna give this one a B. I'll put it above Woody Woodpecker just because it's more highly themed and everything. But I'll put it below E.T. just because E.T. has better all-around everything. And yeah, Doctor Doom's very simple, but it's very fun. And it's always a short wait. I've never waited more than, I want to say 10 minutes for it. But yeah, Doctor Doom, it's an okay ride. Like, it's nothing amazing, obviously, but it's cool. It's iconic. I love the look of it, too. Like, the two towers, it looks awesome. All right, next is another S tier. Now, this is already going to be hard for me. Spider-Man. This ride is my whole life. I went on this at a very young age. I've always gone on it multiple times anytime I visit the park. So it's like really tricky with Hulk because a roller coaster and a dark ride, it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's like I don't really know. Man, this is tricky. God, how do I... Okay, so Spider-Man, it's immersive, it's really cool, it's obviously a much longer ride. The entire queue is fantastic. I love that it's still that same thing. They updated the ride a couple years ago to update the graphics, but the entire queue is still the same. Like, it's still got the retro, you know, look, and it's still got the retro cartoon and all that. Man, this is tough. I think I'm going to put Spider-Man above Hulk just because it has a little more going on. It's a longer ride. And it's just... The entire ride is just fantastic. Man, I love Hulk, though. But I'm going to put Spider-Man above it. They're both S, but, like, man, I think Spider-Man wins by a hair on that one. Alright, so next we have the Dr. Seuss stuff. Now, this is mostly kiddie stuff. This is for the kids. So the carousel, I'm just going to give that a C. I mean, C for carousel. It's just a carousel. Like, it's got Dr. Seuss theming, but that's it. It's just a carousel. I haven't been on it in a long time, but I know what the ride is. It's not, you know, anything amazing. So I'm just going to give it a C. It's not terrible. It's just meh, whatever. You know what I mean? Now, this one's interesting. The Cat in the Hat ride. I would have put this in A a long time ago, but, this is going to be a current list. So, as of 2021, a couple years ago, I think it was, they took out the spins. The ride used to spin like crazy. Now, I'm assuming maybe for little kids, it was too intense. That's my only assumption. So, the ride still spins, you know, but it doesn't spin as fast. That was the best part about it. The storytelling's still there. The theming is still there. The queue. Everything about it is great. Like, it tells the whole Cat in the Hat story flawlessly. Like, it does a great job, but the ride itself unfortunately is not as good as what it used to be. So in its current state, I'm gonna give it a B still, just because it still has all that, but the spinning, man, I can't believe they took that out. Like I said, I would have gave it an A, but I'm gonna give it a B. Do I like it more than Doctor Doom? Nah, Doctor Doom at least gives me some excitement. No, I'm going to put Doctor Doom above it, even though Doctor Doom's a very simple ride. Man, it breaks my heart, because I know Cat in the Hat used to be, you know, so good. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so, next up, I'm going to be doing One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. Now, this is another kiddie ride, but what's funny about this one is you can soak somebody. Like, they don't have it... You know, if they're not expecting it, you can raise the fish as you're going, and you can get them wet. There's things shooting water out. So it's a fun ride. It's a simple kiddie ride, though, so I'm going to put this in B as well. But I do love the water aspect. I'll put it above Woody Woodpecker just because it's more fun. Cat in the Hat. Man, I'll put it below Cat in the Hat, just because Cat in the Hat's a little more complex, I guess. Has a little more going on. But One Fish, Two Fish is really fun. Now this one is the Trolley in the Sky. I forget the full name of it, but it's the little trolley that goes around the Dr. Seuss area. This one's very simple too. I haven't been on it in a long time, so it's kind of hard for me to judge this. But from what I remember, it's not a crazy long ride. It's interesting. It's not really anything spectacular. So I'll put this in C as well, but I'll put it above the carousel just because it's, you know, cooler than a carousel. Yeah, so I think that's fair. Next, we're doing Ripsaw Falls, the water ride. Basically their version of Splash Mountain, I guess. It's fun. It's a really fun ride. It's really cool. It's got a lot of moments where you do get wet, and the big drop at the end is awesome. And the storytelling is really good. Dudley Do-Right theming, obviously. I think I'll put this one in... I need to start putting some A's. You see, there's no A's. I'm sure there's going to be an A at some point. I don't totally love the ride, though, but I still give it... I'll give it a B. Let me think. Do I like E.T. more than this? I do like E.T. more than this. Even though this has some cool theming and all that stuff, and the queue is great. E.T. just is a better subject matter, I guess you could say, for me. I've never been like a Rocky and Bullwinkle or whatever fan, you know? So I'm not really that attached to it. But the ride itself is great. It's a B, though. It's not an A, per se. So yeah, another water ride is Popeye's. So Popeye and Bluto's Bilge-Rat Barges. This is the centerpiece water ride at the resort. Oh, by the way, I'm not including Volcano Bay because one, I've never been there, and two, that would take forever. I'm sure they have a lot of rides. So these are just Islands of Adventure and Universal, obviously. So Popeyes is totally fun. You always get soaked. It's always fun to see people getting soaked. The theming's great. The queue line's great. Everything about it is awesome. I actually will put this in A, I think. I think I do like this more than E.T. And it's really fun, too, because in Florida, it's obviously really hot. So, like, when you go on it, you get soaked, and it feels good. If it's a really hot day, you're going to want to go on Popeyes. Yeah, I'll put it above E.T. I have more fun with this ride than I do, you know, all these other ones on B, so. Next we have Pteranodon Flyers, Pteranadon Flyer, whatever it's called, at Jurassic Park. This ride sucks. This ride's no good. I went on it, I want to say once or twice, and it's been a long time. Like, I'm talking like 10 years ago or something. Yeah, this ride is no good. It's just a quick little flying like thing through Jurassic Park, but like it's so short, it's no fun, it's just I kind of want to put it in F, but it's been so long since I've been on it. I don't know if it's fair to like just drop it in F like that, so I might put it in D. I mean, it's okay, you do get some, you know, you do get to go high up and, you know, go around and stuff, but I don't know, it could have been something way cooler, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why it's like, I don't know, it's just yeah, I think I'm going to put it in D. I don't want to drop it in F, per se. I don't know, I might put it in F. Like, I'm starting to remember, like, being so disappointed by it. Yeah, I'm going to put it in F. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not a good ride. I've never been on it ever since, so, yeah. Now, Jurassic Park River Adventure. Now, this is another one of my childhood favorites. Now, I'm actually going to put this one in A. I don't go on it as often as I used to. Frankly, I kind of avoid the water rides just because I don't like getting my clothes soaked. When I do go with my family, we do like to wear like ponchos when we go on, but we still end up getting wet. But this one, you don't get really soaked until the end, like the big drop at the end. You'll get wet from that. I'm trying to remember if there's any other moments. Like, I haven't been on it in a while, a couple years. It's like this recent trip I just took, I didn't go on it. Just because I think the wait times were kind of high, and, you know, I was just like, oh, I'll skip it, whatever. But it's still an A, though, for me. Like, the theming's great, the whole storytelling's great, dinosaurs get loose, and then the giant T-Rex at the end, I'll never forget that. Even as a kid, I used to think that was so cool. So I'm going to put this one in A. Yeah, it's a great ride. Now, Men in Black Alien Attack. I love this ride, too. I'm not going to give it an S, necessarily, though. It's cool. The spinning is great. Now, that's what Cat in the Hat is missing, obviously, but the spinning's awesome. The shooting is awesome. The theming, everything. The queue, everything's great. The only reason I don't give it an S is because I'm not really a huge fan of the shooting rides. There's nothing wrong with them. I just prefer, you know, dark ride, you know, anything else that's not a shooter, basically. So, like, I prefer other kinds of rides. I mean, I like them more than simulators, but, you know. I mean, certain simulators are good, obviously. I guess you could say Spider-Man's a simulator, but it actually has a track and physical, you know, things, and special effects. Men in Black's good. I'll give it an A. I like it more. I think, yeah, I do like it more than Jurassic Park. Yeah, Men in Black's great. I hope they keep it for a long time. Now, another kiddie ride is Storm Force Accelatron in the Marvel area. Now, this ride, it's a simple, you know, teacups thing, but you can really spin. Like, you can take the thing in the center of the thing and spin quite a bit. It's really fun. So I think I'm going to put this one in B, but it's going to be kind of low. I guess I like it more than Woody Woodpecker. I'm not trying to, you know, crap on Woody Woodpecker, but Storm Force is longer, I'm pretty sure, and you can really spin on that thing. And I love the storm effects too. Like, it has like lightning flashes and stuff and sound effects. So yeah, I'll put it above Woody Woodpecker. And yeah, I think that's a good placement. One fish, two fish, more. Yeah. All right, so next up is Flight of the Hippogriff. Now, this opened in 2000, so this used to be Flying Unicorn with the Lost Continent area. Now, this is another kiddie roller coaster. Again, I haven't been on this in such a long time. And it's got the Harry Potter theming now, which is cool, because you do get to see Buckbeak, I think, right, at the end, which is cool. Again, it's just a kiddie roller coaster, so I'm probably going to put this in the same vein as Woody Woodpecker. I think I like this one more. I feel like this one's longer. I haven't been on it in such a long time, though. Woody Woodpecker, I did go on, actually, recently, and on this trip I just took. But I think I do like this one a little more, so I'll put it above. Next is Shrek 4D. Now, this is technically a show, but it has a lot of aspects that, like, you know, like Minions, for example, or Jimmy Fallon. Like, those are sit down, watch a screen, similar things. But this, you know, it's I guess you could say, I wouldn't say it's a show, because shows have show times. Like, think of the horror makeup show and animal actors and stuff like that. They have show times. Shrek 4D doesn't have show time, so I guess it's not really a show. But it's fantastic. It's hilarious. The special effects are great, you know, with the seats moving and stuff, and the little water effects, and the 3D, obviously. The ogre vision. Yeah, this one's fun. It's funny. It's great. It's fantastic. I always enjoy watching it. I think I'll put this one in A. I think I like it more than Popeye, and I'd say I like it more than Jurassic Park. Yeah, I'll put it below Men in Black, though. But it's fun. It's always great. I hope they keep it for a long time. Now, Revenge of the Mummy. This one is S for sure. Now, God, this is going to be tough. Okay, to me, I always used to say Mummy is the best ride at Universal. Like the Universal Park itself, not the entire place. Man, this is challenging right here. God, what I love about Mummy is, like, it's a hybrid dark ride roller coaster. It's like my two favorite things put together. It's like if Hulk and Spider-Man were meshed together. That's what I love about it. It's got great, everything's practical too. So, like, you know, I'm not trying to crap on Spider-Man. I never would, but it's mostly simulator. But it's very well done, obviously. But Mummy, everything is in front of you. It's real. Like, it's real flames. It's real everything. God, this is so tough. Oh, man, Spider-Man is like my childhood. Mummy has been around since 2004. You know, I did go on King Kong, the Confrontation ride, which closed in 2003, I believe. I was only 7 years old when that closed, but I still remember going on it. So I must have been like 6 years old or something. I don't even know. But man, God, this is so tough. I hate to do this, guys. Don't kill me. I'm going to put Mummy above Spider-Man and Hulk. Just because it's a hybrid of my two favorite things. And, yeah. Like I said, I know in my heart I'm a roller coaster guy. But it's the perfect blend of both. And I just... God, I'm sorry. And I love the Brendan Fraser cameo at the end with the coffee. I just love that. And it's still there to this day, which is hilarious. God. And I love, you know, Brendan Fraser, the Mummy series he was in. You know, more specifically the first movie. But, God, I'm sorry, guys. Don't kill me in the comments. I'm putting Mummy above Spider-Man and Hulk, which is the hardest thing ever. In the back of my mind, I kind of knew that's how I felt, but this is such a hard thing. God. All right. Anyways, All right, next up is going to be Simpsons. Now, Simpsons is great. This is going to be an A. It's not going to be quite an S, though, just because it's all simulator. But the theming in Q is fantastic. Like, at least even when you're waiting in line, they have all the TVs everywhere playing, like, vintage Simpsons moments, which is funny. And then you get the pre-show and then another pre-show, which are, you know, the whole thing is hilarious. Like, everything's funny. Like, there's so many jokes that land. Even during the ride, it's hilarious. And the simulator itself is great. Like, it works. Like, you feel like you're, you know, and the whole Krusty Land area is great. And yeah, I mean, it breaks my heart that Back to the Future, you know, closed. And I have a funny story about that too. I did a video about it. You can go on my channel and search it up. It's called Story Time Back to the Bathroom. Yeah, if you've seen that, you already know. Go ahead and check that out. But yeah, Simpsons Ride is an A for sure. I think I do like it more than Men in Black. Just because everything about it works, like everything. It's such a very well done thing. Yeah. But anyways, Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. Now, this roller coaster is kind of overrated. I feel like a lot of people, like, all right, real fans of the park know this ride is, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, in terms of like the theming, like, what is it? It's not, we're not in Hollywood. It's not a rocket per se, even though it does go straight up. But like, what is, it's like a ripoff of like Rock and Roller Coaster from Disney World or something. Like, people have always been like, what is this ride? Like, why is it in Universal Studios? You know what I mean? So in terms of the theming and all that, it's just like, what? In the choices or whatever. But the ride itself is pretty fun. It's nothing groundbreaking. Like, it's probably my least favorite roller coaster. I mean, aside from the kiddie ones. Yeah, it is my least favorite roller coaster there. So I'm going to put this in B. I've never loved it. It's fun, though. Like, what I do like about it is it does have a couple of false endings where, like, it slows down and then it continues again, and then it slows down and continues again. I feel like there's, like, at least 2 false endings. I did go on it in this recent trip. And I do love the vertical, you know, when it goes up like that and then it drops. And the lights on the roller coaster at nighttime especially look really cool. And the music, too. Like, you get to listen to music as you ride, which is fun. But I'm not really a fan of, like, the bulky, I don't know why, the seats, like, feel really bulky, and then the lap bar thing feels really bulky. I don't know, it's just weird. But I'm gonna give it a B, though. I do like it more. I'm gonna put E.T. above it, just because E.T. is E.T., but it's still a good ride. It's nothing fantastic, though. Yeah. Anyways, moving on is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Now, this ride is awesome. This is an A for sure. It's always great. The effects are awesome. It's great practical, great simulator effects also. The theming is awesome. The castle looks amazing. Yeah, I'm going to put this one in A. I think I'll put it... it's kind of tricky. Do I like it more than Simpsons? Yeah, I like it more than Simpsons, just because it's got practical effects too. Yeah, it's a great ride. It's awesome. Yeah, I think that's fair. I kind of breezed over it, but I mean, it's just a great ride. I really don't have any complaints about it. Yeah, so next up is going to be Despicable Me. Now, I haven't been on this ride. I think we went in 2016, and we went on it for the first time then, and we weren't huge fans of it. It used to be Jimmy Neutron, which I loved that. I love all the Nicktoons stuff that used to have. And then before that, back in the day, it used to be Hanna-Barbera. I don't think I ever went on that version. I may have been too young. But I do remember going on the Jimmy Neutron, you know, quite a few times back in the day. And I love that version. But this one, like I said, it's been 5 years, so I can't really remember. I do know what the ride is, obviously. Like, it's the simulator thing. You're in the seats, but it actually goes up and moves and stuff, and, you know. Yeah, I think I'll put this one in C, maybe, just because I'm not really a fan. I've never seen any of the Despicable Me movies. Like, I've seen the Minions movie, but it's not my thing. So it's mostly because of the theming choice. If it was still Jimmy Neutron and Nicktoons, I'd definitely put this in at least B, like higher up in B, you know what I mean? But I'll put it in C. But like I said, it's been almost 5 years since I've been on it, so I can't really judge it fairly. So I'll just throw it in C, above the Dr. Seuss stuff. Yeah. All right, so next is Transformers. Now, this is a Spider-Man clone, and obviously Spider-Man's an S. But Spider-Man does a better job of the storytelling and the queue and obviously the characters and everything like that. So, and it's a classic. It's my childhood. So I kind of have to, you know, this is nowhere near Spider-Man. Even though it's a clone, it's got the same ride system. It's not the same track layout, though, I don't think. And I feel like this one goes longer. I feel like, because when I went on this recently, I got to go on it twice in this last trip. And the ride actually felt longer than when I remembered. Like, I went on it for the first time in 2016, I think. And, you know, I was just like, yeah, it's a whatever ride. Now, I'm not really a fan of Michael Bay Transformers. But if this was a different version of Transformers, I might be inclined to like it more, but no, I don't like Bayformers. I don't. But the ride itself is good. It's fun. I do like that you get to go through Devastator's mouth and all that stuff, and the action's great. But it's not as compelling as Spider-Man. Like, it's not as interesting, you know what I mean, or engaging. But it is fun. I kind of want to give it an A. But I would feel bad if I put E.T. below this. But I mean, E.T. is like a kiddie ride. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, I feel bad putting Bayformers above Spielberg. You know what I mean? Yeah, the ride's pretty fun. I think I'll put it below River Adventure. Yeah, I think that's fair. Me giving this ride an A is pretty fair, if you ask me. Yeah, that's fine. So I think I'll put it there. All right, next is Kang and Kodos Twirl and Hurl at Simpsons. Now, I went on this ride for the very first time, on this trip, actually. Yeah, just because we just never got around to it. Now I've officially been on every single ride. This is the one ride I didn't get a chance to go on the last, you know, couple times we've been there. So this ride, again, it's just a little simple kiddie ride, but it's nothing... There's a few funny moments where if you, like, raise the thing up and down, you can, like, go by certain Simpson character pictures and they make noise and it's funny. But it's nothing... Like, it's not that great, honestly. Nothing really... I don't know. I'm gonna put this one in C. Oh, we got a sneeze coming up. Oh, it went away. Okay. I'm gonna put this one in C. Yeah, it wasn't anything great. But I will put it above the Dr. Seuss stuff just because it's Simpsons and it's funny. Yeah, it was whatever. All right, so next up we have Gringotts. Now, I kind of have mixed opinions about Gringotts. Like, okay, when they first announced this and they showed, like, what it was going to be, I was like, oh, it could be like a sort of, not a minecart roller coaster, but, like, you know what I mean? Like in the movies when they go to Gringotts and they're on the track. It could have been more like that. But they really made it, like, they made it like a hybrid, obviously, like a 3D thing. It's part roller coaster, part simulator, I guess. And, you know, you would think, oh, I love Mummy so much, I would love this. Now, something about the ride, it has that bulky feel, which I don't know how to explain this. It feels like it could be much more compact, and like Mummy, for example, is the perfect, like, precise thing, where this is not really that. I don't know, this is so weird. This is such a jumble. The roller coaster aspects are cool, but they're not there as much as I wanted them to be. And it's mostly simulator, which is fine, but, like, I would have preferred more of a thrill ride. The special effects are great. I love that the one part at the end where the screen opens up and you actually go into it. That's awesome. But, I don't know. Something about the ride is just... Like, it doesn't feel like I'm actually in Gringotts. Like, they didn't do, like, a great job of, like... I don't know. Like, I feel bad. I feel like a lot of people probably like this one. I think I'll give it an A, though. I do like it more than Transformers. Jurassic Park. Man, this is tricky. I'll put it below Jurassic Park. I don't know. This might be a hot take, but I don't really love the ride. I love everything about the theming and the queue is fantastic. The story's great, but it's just like... Okay, there's parts where the ride is really dark, like you can't see anything, which is okay. But, like, I would prefer some lighting where you could actually see, like, tracks. Like, you actually feel like you're in there, in the actual bank with all the tracks and stuff. I don't know, it's just, it feels weird. Like, okay, in the movies, it feels like those tracks are really small and the cart's really small. When I'm on the ride, I feel like I'm on this big, bulky thing that does not translate well. Like, it doesn't feel like the same thing. I don't know, it's just, I can't explain it. Yeah, it's a great ride, but I don't love it. Yeah, kind of a hot take. I'm gonna put it. A's a good grade, obviously, but I'm gonna put it below Jurassic Park. Yeah. All right. So next, I'm gonna do Hogwarts Express. Now, this opened with Gringotts. This is just a simple train ride to take you from park to park. Now, I've only done from Universal to Islands. You know, the original place where it was built, the train station. Now, I know you can do Islands to Universal. I've never done it that way. I don't know if there's any difference. I doubt it. But this ride, again, is just, it's a simple thing. Like, I think we did it once, and that was it. And I think it was in the 2016 trip we took. So I'm going to just put this one in C. I guess I'll put it below Minions, because that's an actual ride. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a simple train thing. I mean, it's cooler than Kang and Kodos. But yeah, I'll just put it below Despicable Me. Yeah, I don't know. All right, next up is the King Kong ride. Now, this one is another mixed bag for me. Now, obviously, they use the same ride system in Fast and Furious, which we'll get to. Which I'm not really the biggest fan of that ride system. But what I like about the Kong ride is there is practical. Like, when the queue... All right, first of all, the queue is spectacular. And the theming is spectacular. Like, the outside of the ride is amazing. I almost want to say everything besides the ride is the best part of it. And there is an animatronic Kong head at the end, which I love that because it's a tribute to the original Confrontation. That is amazing. And I do like when you're, in the car at first, you go outdoors and then you actually go into the castle and there's flames and it feels real. And there's like bats and stuff, like giant bat, animatronics. And I do love the practicals of it. And it is dark, it is scary. And I do love in the line, there's like scare actors popping out trying to scare you. That's fantastic. But man, the ride was kind of a disappointment for me because the bulk of the ride is just a dome screen and you're looking around and you're seeing Kong like fighting T-Rexes and whatever. But, that's fine. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of like making every single new ride a simulator. You know what I mean? I'm more of a fan of the practical. And there is a lot of great practical, as I listed, obviously. But something about the ride just doesn't click with me. Because like I said, the bulk of the ride is just, you're just sitting there and you're looking at a dome and that's it. But everything else is fantastic, like I said. So I think I'll put this below Transformers. Yeah, I'll put it below Transformers. Transformers is a little more, it's more intense. It's not you're just sitting in one spot for the whole time. You know what I mean? Nothing against that. It's just, yeah, whatever. All right, anyways, Race Through New York. Now, Jimmy Fallon, everybody likes to crap on this ride. I don't think it's terrible. It's okay. I just wish, the ride itself's fine. I just wish it wasn't Jimmy Fallon. Like, I don't hate him or anything. It would have been fun if it was, like, Race Through New York with, I don't know, somebody else. You know what I mean? Just put anybody else. It's okay. I'll throw it in D. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It's not terrible. I think D's more than fair for this. I don't know. It's just, I kind of wish they put something else there. Anything else. Twister was okay. But yeah, Twister was just I remember going on that a couple times. It's just a thing, you stand there and you look at special effects. Really great special effects, but, they could have put something totally different there, but they just went with a simple sit there and look at the screen, But the theming's great. You actually feel like you're in the Rockefeller building or whatever. I've actually been there. When I went to New York 2 years ago, I actually went through that building, and it feels like that. But, the 30 Rock building, whatever the name is. Yeah. But anyways, I'll put it in D. It's if it wasn't Jimmy Fallon and Tonight Show, if it was something else, maybe I'd like it more, but it's whatever. All right, so next is going to be Fast and Furious. That's obviously going at the bottom. That ride sucks. Now, I totally understand why Universal made a Fast and Furious ride. Now, why wouldn't they? It's their biggest franchise. It's their biggest moneymaker. Of course they're going to make a ride based off it. They could have did anything else besides this. They could have made, like, a roller coaster. They could have made something similar to, Earthquake, which, this ride replaced. Earthquake and Disaster, whatever. And it also replaced the Beetlejuice show. Like, they had to destroy two things for this piece of crap to go there. So it's like... it's terrible. Like, the story makes no sense. It's stupid. Everything sucks. The ride's terrible. Like, I only went on it once, And that was it. I'm like, I never need to go on that again. It's terrible. Like, the theming's great, you know, the hue's great, but the ride itself is garbage. I'm never going to go on it again. I hope they close. I know it's not even that old, but I hope they tear it down and replace it with something ASAP, because it sucks. God, that ride's so bad. I want to see somebody, like, who actually likes this ride, like, defend it. You know what I mean? If there is somebody out there. It's terrible. Like, I don't even... it's so bad. Like, yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to stop talking about it. That's why it's at the very bottom. Alright, so now, this is going to be tricky. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. 2 years ago, I actually went on opening day to this ride. I waited 6 hours to ride it. Now, it only took 6 hours because there were weather delays. And by the way, I went at the beginning of the day before the park opened, but just to let you know. Because I remember on the news, they were talking about this. It ended up having like a 10-hour wait when people showed up during the day. So I can only imagine. But anyways, so long story short, it was me and my family were coming back from New York on our trip we took, and it was going to coincide with the opening date of this. So we said, hey, why not? On the way back, I can try to go on this on opening day, just because I've never been on anything on opening day. I can finally say, hey, I went on this awesome ride on opening day. So, yeah, the experience of waiting 6 hours and then getting on the ride, and the ride itself is obviously an S tier, like, it's not even a debate, it's an S tier ride, was the coolest feeling ever. And I purposely didn't look at videos of the ride or anything like that, or, you know, I heard there's animatronics, I heard the ride had... I think it has 7 launches, which is the most in any roller coaster ever. And I purposely didn't want to look at anything. But the ride was spectacular, and I was speechless after I went on it. And I was like, that is the best ride I've ever been on. And I wasn't really saying that, I wasn't talking out of my ass. Like, I really meant it. That ride was amazing. Like, I love all the launches, I love the speed, I love when it goes backwards, I love the drop part, I love the animatronic, everything about it. And I did get to go on it 2 more times on this recent trip I took. And I was lucky enough to get front row both times, which is amazing. It just happened to, you know, it was just coincident, like, it just happened to be front row. The first time I went on it, I think I might have been towards the back or something, and I was in the sidecar. But this trip, I got to go on it 2 more times, I was front row both times, and I got to be on the motorbike. And, man, it was amazing. And one of the times I went, it was at nighttime, and the ride is so much cooler at nighttime. They got the motorbike, the headlights are turned on, and you really feel like you're going through the forest. Because it's obviously darker and creepier and stuff. Yeah, I think this ride is the best ride. I'm putting this at the very top. Just because it's sort of like how Mummy is a perfect theme of like a dark ride and roller coaster. It's this also, but this, if you ask me, is a better roller coaster than Mummy. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that right now. And not just because it's a brand new ride. I really do think it is the best ride there. It's just, everything about it's perfect. The theming, the queue, everything's perfect. I do, you know, it breaks my heart that Dueling Dragons is no longer there, but yeah, I love this ride. Like, it's so good. Yeah, it just is. I love Hulk, I love Spider-Man, I love Mummy, but this one is better. It's better. I mean, objectively speaking, if you ask me, it is better. It's starting to rain outside, by the way. I don't know if you can hear that. All right, so let me finish this up, because I've already been talking for almost 45 minutes. Velocicoaster. I got to go on this twice. It opened yesterday, but they were letting people go on, you know, a couple weeks in advance, just because. Maybe it would make the opening day less crazy. I don't know why. And they were just letting anybody go on, by the way. It wasn't just pass holders only or anything. Like, when I went, they were just letting anybody get in the line. So I only had to wait 40 minutes for some reason. Like, it was only a 40-minute line. I thought it would be, you know, a longer line. But maybe most people were thinking the ride wasn't open yet, so they didn't go on it. I don't know. But yeah, I got to go on it twice. I didn't get to do front row, but it's okay. But this ride is awesome. It's super fast. It's the fastest ride at the entire resort. It's amazing. The queue's great. Everything about it's great. And the twists and turns and inversions and everything in this ride is like nothing I've ever been on in my life. There's one part where you're upside down, like inverting, and it's like right above the water, and like you feel like the water is like like right there, like under your head. You know what I mean? It's so good. And the initial launch that's it. Like the whole ride is non-stop. It's just speed the whole time. Yeah, I love it. This is another ride where I got off and I was speechless. And I had a debate in my head. I'm like, man, is this the best ride or is Hagrid's the best ride? Because they're both that good. I mean, I know they're the two newest rides, but they're the two best rides. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. Man, this might be a hot take, but I'm putting Velocicoaster above Mummy, Spider-Man, and Hulk. I do like I finally decided when I went on Hagrid's 2 more times, especially at nighttime, I like Hagrid's more. Because it has everything I said about it. And I feel like Hagrid's is a longer ride too, because Velocicoaster, you know, it's fast, so it's obviously going to be shorter, but yeah, I think I like Hagrid's the best. But anyways, guys, this is my final list here. Let me know what you think of this. I need to end this video because it's going on way too long. But yeah, that's how I have it. And if you agree or disagree with anything I said, let me know. How do you rank these? You know, you don't have to list all of them. I think there's like, how many? 31 rides here, I think. Something like that. So anyways, I've talked long enough. Let me know your opinions in the comments. And that's it. If you want to see more tier rankings like this, let me know. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.